Ladies and gentlemen, get excited, because today we're talking about Sonic Colors, the game where Sonic trades in his classic green hills for an intergalactic amusement park. First though, we must acquire the game as usual. I don't own it on Steam, so it's time to set sail on the 7-seat. Oh, it turns out the game is uncracked. Time for dolphin porn, in high definition. Not exactly the adventure I had planned, but hey, gotta make do. No Tails, I don't want navigation mode on. So, Dr. Eggman, in his infinite wisdom and midlife crisis, builds a theme park in space. Because when you failed at everything else, I guess constructing an amusement park with questionable OSHA standards is the next logical step. Sonic and his ever-reliable sidekick, Tails, crash the party. What do they discover? Wisp, little alien creatures that Eggman has decided to enslave. It's like Sega thought, what if we took the Chow and made them more important and shoved them into everything? From the start, Tails and Sonic figure out that Eggman's enslaving these alien wisps to fuel his evil empire. Tails, as usual, handles the technical stuff like translating the wisp's language. Meanwhile, Sonic is raring to punch pregnant woman in the stomach. So, shall we get started then? Their first stop is Tropical Resort, which feels like a giant neon beach vacation, except instead of pina coladas, you're getting chased by Eggman's badness. I died in the first 5 minutes. This texture pack I installed destroyed Sonic's iris. It is a nice change of pace that the game tosses you right into the stage, with no cutscenes. The vibes are kinda nice if you ignore the whole alien enslavement thing. In this resort, we meet Yacker, the little white wisp who's basically the leader of the bunch. He pleads for Sonic's help, and Sonic, being the fastest problem solver around, decides to race through the resort, smashing robots and freeing aliens. Classic hero work for Sonic the Hedgehog. There are also these QTEs that you just spam the A button for some reason. The Tropical Resort introduces the Cyan Laser Wisp, turning Sonic into a laser so precise, even Cyclops would be jealous. You'll zip through the Eggster's badniks and generally bend the laws of physics in the process. Breaking the score at the end of the acts is oddly satisfying. The boss of Tropical Resort is this giant eyeball flower thing. In any case, he goes down in 3 bombs. Nothing to write home about. Yacker tries to speak to Sonic, but they can't understand him. Sonic proceeds to be xenophobic, which wouldn't be the first time. Next up is Sweet Mountain, a level that feels like Majin Buu's personal fever dream of candy and chaos. It's a literal land of sweets, but instead of a nice candy land stroll, Sonic's dodging killer cupcakes and running from missiles disguised as hot dogs. This park's insurance policy must be insane. Sweet Mountain introduces the yellow drill wisp, allowing Sonic to tunnel underground and become Slavic. Whether underground or above, Sonic's tearing through cakes and candy like it's his cheat day. Or maybe he's just auditioning for a feeder fetish documentary. Wouldn't be the first time. Also in Act 1 are these giant phallic-shaped missiles with jelly beans on them. Act 4 has these buttons you have to stand on and wait. This must be what speedrunners' nightmares are made of. Endless retries, broken runs, and their mom yelling at them to get a real job. The boss of Sweet Mountain is a pirate man who will throw bombs at you. I died 3 times in a row because I'm impatient. He will do a funny little dance and you can hit him. I'm not sure what happened, but I think I won. Now, off to find Baldy McNose hair. Eggman's hilarious PA announcements fill the background. 1 second, you're speeding along a platform, and the next, everything's exploding, and you're running down the side of a building as if gravity isn't even a factor. These levels were clearly designed by someone with a vendetta against architects. The cutscenes are equally ridiculous, with Sonic dishing out sarcastic one-liners, while Eggman's giving his iconic villain speeches. This game fully embraces the chaos, and you can't help but roll with it. After the sugar-coated fever dream that is Sweet Mountain, we blast off to Starlight Carnival, where Sega clearly decided Subtle was overrated. This level is basically what happens if you gave Aaron Hansen an unlimited budget and 0 constraints for a Sonic level. Neon lights, giant space fleets, and floating platforms everywhere. Here, you're constantly zipping around on rainbow roads while these starships explode in the background. The whole thing feels like a fever dream where Rainbow Road got hijacked by Michael Bay. You barely have time to catch your breath before you're launched across space, dodging lasers and boosting through obstacles. You'll be running along these asteroid tracks 1 second and slamming down as a blocky wrecking ball the next. Why a Q? Who knows? It does, however, let Sonic turn enemies and obstacles into, well, cubes. Not sure exactly why that helps, but you'll feel like a Wisp-powered Minecraft god. I got my first game over over in Act 3 because this game thinks auto-scrollers are a good idea. Fun fact, did you know that Miyamoto invented auto-scrollers? Act 4 has these green balls, and in Act 5 you also unlock the hover wisp, because nothing says roller coaster in space like slowly floating around like a lost balloon. This wisp lets Sonic glide effortlessly through the chaos, hovering past deadly obstacles and zipping along rings. Eggman could be hiding anywhere, but he's right there behind that generator. Tails gets mind broken and dies of cringe. Eggman's machine fails and he runs away. The boss is an auto runner who will throw spikes at you. Collect and use the laser wisp to crush his skull and murder him. Tails manages to translate more of Yakra's nonsense, and it turns out Eggman wants to take over the planet. We must destroy all the generators and maybe even find the computer room. It's time to hit Planet Wisp, the area with the best music in the game. What starts as a peaceful alien paradise quickly turns into Eggman's latest construction site disaster. Apparently, Eggman's philosophy is to ruin anything beautiful by throwing a factory on it. Here, you get the pink spike wisp, which lets Sonic transform into a spiky pink ball of death, sticking to walls and ceilings to tear through Eggman's machines. Sonic's gone full destructor mode. Act 3 really shows how bad precise jumping is in this game. I keep dying over and over because of these awful controls. Act 4 is easily the most frustrating act yet. These pixel perfect jumps and loops that lead into pits. Act 5 is on rails. Don't double jump at the start or you'll die like I did. No copyright law in the universe is gonna stop me from beating this boss. He literally dies on one hit from the spike wisp. How pathetic. Next up is Aquarium Park, where Eggman in his boundless wisdom decided to build a Japanese themed underwater level in space. Because nothing captures amusement park fun quite like the danger of drowning at a SeaWorld decked out in full anime cosplay. This place is Eggman's otaku paradise, a tribute to his love for all things Japan. The enemies? Samurai robots, naturally. Eggman is fully committed to the theme. He's probably out there in a kimono, sipping green tea and just watching as Sonic destroys the place. But unlike every other dreaded Sonic water level, this one's actually kind of fun. You're speeding through underwater tunnels, dodging robotic ninjas, and sucking in bubbles like you're in some kind of twisted anime filler arc. Some of these acts go on a little too long, but I digress. Here comes another pirate clown ship, and Sonic is gonna give it an extra large clobbering. Bonk it until it goes into its second phase, and then penetrate it and kill it. Next up is Six Flags. Sorry, Asteroid Coaster. Forget what I said about Planet Wisp. This music slaps. Sonic gets the Frenzy Wisp here, turning him into a wholesome 100 skibbity beast. Act 2 flips you upside down like it's trying to be Mario Galaxy. Pro tip, if you see the red homing reticle in this game, make sure to mash the A button or you're done for. Act 3, another game over thanks to these annoying yellow platforms. Act 4 is literally just a circle. Somehow I got my first S rank there. Cutscene time, inside Eggman's factory, where wholesome puppers are being locked in cages. That's not very wholesome 100 at all. No Reddit gold for you, Eggman. Sonic takes on another giant ship. Again. What is this, like the third time? It's another Subway Surfers moment, dodging asteroids and lemons until you rocket into his big belly. Next, we hit Space Elevator, which is as frustrating as you'd expect. You face off against a crab bot you've seen like once before. Too far? Can't see his laser. Too close? He'll punch you harder than a sleep-deprived gorilla playing loud aggressive death metal. Die and you're sent all the way back to the start of the level with no checkpoint. This feels like the Sonic 06 chase stages all over again. Needless to say, I got a D rank. Now let's go crack Eggman. Here comes the grand finale, the Nega Wisp Bomber. Eggman decides to merge with Wisp power, setting up yet another Temple Run boss fight. This was such a hit, they recycled the idea in 3 more Sonic games. Eggman thought stealing alien powers again would work. Spoiler alert, it didn't. It's a chaotic mess of lasers and missiles, but Sonic blitzes through it as usual. Of course, the homing attack will glitch out seemingly for no reason, just to keep things spicy. As Eggman makes his last stand, the music gets really epic, but Sonic obliterates him with the power of all the wisps, of all the wispies. We penetrate Eggman's armor and kill him. Now it's time to run away. Terminal Velocity Act 2 is easier than the first, where Sonic gets sucked into the void, copying the Mario Galaxy ending, the Wisps sacrificing themselves for him. After smashing Eggman's last bad idea, the space theme park crumbles. The Wisps are free, and everyone breathes easy, until Eggman inevitably dreams up his next space-themed disaster. All in all, Sonic Colors is still a fast, chaotic ride through space, packed with sarcasm, alien power-ups, and a whole lot of Eggman's ego. If saving the galaxy by running really fast and smashing robots sounds fun, this is your game. Nearly 15 years later, Sonic Colors still holds up as a classic. Roll the credits.
Faster, you idiot! Faster! Put your backsides into it!
Technically, we don't have backsides, boss.
I don't care!